we've found someone who's not experienced a heat wave right now to take over streaming for us. So hopefully it will run a bit better and we can carry on with the quest that we were doing before and hopefully do a little bit more exploring for you. So yeah, we're really sorry about all the streaming problems before, but hopefully we can do a bit more of an explore now. So I guess it's over to John and we can see if we can pick it up where we left off.
Yeah, surprise, we're back. I think we've got all the same people here again, minus Mr. JGT, who was the one doing the stream before.
Bruma has it. He's busy with a fire extinguisher on his computer.
So we've got the lovely John piloting for us today. Our very experienced landscaper, I believe.
Among other things.
Yeah, he's been around for a very long
Indeed.
time on the project, hasn't he?
He did most of the landscaping for Bruma. And probably large chunks of Cyrodiil as well. But yeah, definitely Bruma.
So, shall we take another quick look around Skingrad, around the city, now that you can see it a little bit better? And I think we were going to do some quests. Hopefully they'll work. I think we had a decent look at the city before, so I think we'll just do a quick look over it, and then we'll try and do those quests if we can. And try and
We should
at
go
what
and
we
look at
missed
the
last
cheese
time.
counter.
Yes.
The cheese store that we
That's
could
something
not
I'm
see.
supposed to
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you've got a courier. There's always something.
Moving up in the
I wonder
world,
what
eh?
it is.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
That'll be the Jarl of Falkreath. Okay. I've heard a lot about you. No, not today.
Take a look at it.
Oh yeah, subtitles, that's very useful.
There we go.
Y'all sing your poetry. Nice. That courier will find you wherever you are.
Am I psychic or is that just a really annoying aspect of playing Skyrim?
I don't think we have the robo voices anymore, sadly, but that's okay. We might have to have some quick readers in the chat to see what's going on, unfortunately. So here's Skingrad in a much nicer FPS.
Hopefully everyone is relieved that no, there's not really an FPS problem, there's just a weather problem.
Yes, yeah. I think I mentioned it before, but the game does run very smoothly. Unfortunately, it was the stream that's having issues, and poor Mr. JGT's computer was having a bad time. So. I do love these little back alleys as well. They really add something to the city. A lot of landscaping effort's gone into the city, not just the streets, but the back alleys as well.
Although you might need to be a bit careful in some of these back alleys.
That is true. There is an encounter actually, isn't there, where you might get locked. That's fun. That's a fun encounter. Got blacksmith here.
Isn't it like there's some kind of monopoly in Skingrad, where the blacksmith is really the only one around?
Yeah. So that's another thing, is the Heartland's trading company that we mentioned before, that we did a quest for before, owns a lot of the trade in the city, and so they also own the only blacksmith. I'm not sure what's... I think John is trying to steal the Imperial armor.
Advanced Skyrim tactics.
So, if we wanted to start the quest, I think we need to head inside Heartland's trading company, which is one of these buildings on this street here.
Yeah, as long as it's after 10 o'clock in the morning, you should be able to get in. They have a nice late start.
Yeah, people of the Empire are nice and lazy.
Well, there's a poster there that you... Can you interact with that poster? I can't remember. I think we...
Yeah, you can. But I think, yeah, on the left here, at the city wall, the tower, right.
Oh, that's a big letter.
This is cool. This is something that we wanted to do as well. We've got public notices and stuff in various cities. Something that was that was in oblivion with a little bit with the Black Horse Courier, but we missed a bit from Skyrim. So things like this are a lot more common in. There's some interesting lore there. Yeah, stuff like this is a lot more common, and I really like this kind of touch that you can go up and just read these things.
Yeah, and there's still the Black Horse Courier, as well as I think we have a newspaper system set up where people spawn in cities to sell newspapers. Is the audio fine for everyone? We saw some people saying the audio was quite a bit quiet.
Audio's all good. Cool. So here you see some notices posted by the captain of the guard in Skingrad, whose name is Ithmaril, who is an elf, in case you couldn't notice by the name. Not mentioning the vampire attacks. The Mace is the main quest, the vampire quest from Skingrad that we were mentioning earlier.
So yeah, I think it's probably time to go and get the quest.
Yeah, so if you head inside the traders, which is on the main street, Heartland's trading company. I believe it's on the left.
No, that's actually, we can go in here. So this is the storefront, but it's the building just to the right.
Yes, the Heartlands company has 2 buildings in town. This guy sells cheese, and among other things, as you can see, people were asking about cheese earlier. this company, the Heartlands Trading Company, has a lot of influence in town. So they have a storefront and they also have some offices as well.
Some warehouses, and you can play some quests for them.
Yes. I believe there's also a baker downstairs in this building, which is quite fun. I love the baker character. He has some great lines about how much he loves baking. So
That's an
that's
elsewhere. asset, I
elsewhere.
think.
Yeah, whoa,
Yeah.
don't. We probably don't
That
want to
is
show
fine.
their stuff without them. Yeah.
But one of the ideas with Skingrad is it's quite rich from all the trades of with elsewhere and things like that. So if you look around here, there's a lot of things that you have been imported from elsewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of Khajiit in the city, and there's also a lot of Khajiit clutter and stuff as well. It's really a nice touch. Skingrad is implied to be one of the cities that trades with the Dominion much more openly than any of the other cities.
That's
And
one thing that's been really nice to do. So Bruma kind of felt like it did quite a bit of trade with Skyrim, and there were definitely sort of Nordic influences. And then here we've got the complete opposite. We're right at the southern edge of Cyrodiil, and they're doing a lot of trade with elsewhere. And hopefully each of the different towns will feel very much like they're a part of the land that they're in and sort of the environment, and they're interacting with their close neighbours. My log
Is that
will be
building right
added.
in front of you? It's definitely on the. It's on the same side
It's
as the.
on the left here.
yeah.
Further back. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Sorry, we're just a little bit behind. Yeah, I just want to speak to this woman. This is the secretary of the company. She, you can ask her for work if the company is looking for work. So you're doing some courier work for the trading company. Courier being a very loose term. I did really enjoy the dead drops from the Dark Brotherhood story in Oblivion, so this is almost like an homage to that, leaving behind a message in a hollow stump at the end of a tobacco field. It's very, I love it. It's very like corporate espionage, and you're right on the border with the Dominion as well, so. We have not shown the Whodunit house, and we won't be showing it because it's related to a quest later on that we're not going to be doing today. But it is still there, and it is faithful to the original layout and everything else.
Someone was asking how large Skingrad is as Bruma. I think most of our cities are roughly the same size, aren't they?
I think it depends on how we're asking, because in terms of physical size, it's probably about the same, but in terms of NPCs, there are definitely more in Skingrad.
There was also a question about the Retread Kryn, a band of Khajiit bandits, and they're not going to be involved in any Skingrad business, but you will be able to see them on the Bravel and Leyawind borders.
Yeah, Skingrad is a lot denser. We definitely wanted Skingrad to feel like it was very alive. It's one of the most kind of rich and influential places in the province. So there's something of, I forget the exact number, but there's something like 80 or 90 NPCs in Skingrad, which is quite a lot. It's more than any city in Skyrim. And they're obviously all packed away into these quite tall houses, quite densely packed. Yeah, we really wanted, like I said, to make it feel lively and stuff, because it is supposed to be one of the most influential cities in all of Cyrodiil. It's one of the cities that was barely touched in the war, and so it's got lots of money and influence still. So we're going to be heading to Southwold, yeah, to do the quest that Mr. JGT was trying to do last time, but was unable to do. So. Oh, is that the guard captain you just walked? Oh no, it's the secondary guard captain that you walked past there. That's fine.
Just in case you accidentally kill the first one.
Yes, the first one. Well, I won't want to spoil too much, but there is a backup one. Take from that what you will.
This is a good thing because I'm not involved in writing. I don't really know what any of the quests are. I can't really do plot spoilers because I don't know the plot.
There's the racing track. We'll have to look at those vineyards in a minute as well. This is a lovely spot. You can see a lot from here. I love this route underneath the castle, and the castle looks incredible. We're not looking at the castle, as we said in the previous stream. We're not going to go inside the castle, but we can look at it from a distance, and it does look amazing. The inside, I have seen the inside. The inside is also amazing, but it's not quite done yet. So.
There are still some questions. I can quickly jump through them. One was, is Beyond Skyrim going to come out on consoles? And that's a no for now, because the Xbox size limits won't allow all mods to be uploaded there. The mods are just way too big. But we would like to, and technically it would be possible. There's just the size limit, so maybe someday the size limit will be increased for some reason. We can never know when another Skyrim release comes, maybe. But for now, sadly no.
Someone asked if I'm using an E and B in this. No, this is just the regular Cyrodiil weather.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think we're using NPCs sometimes, because the special edition weather is just so much better than Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Well, this cave is a familiar cave from Oblivion. We're not going to go inside, but that's there. This is the Strid Canyon, which I think is really beautiful. The border between Cyrodiil and elsewhere. Couldn't really do much with this place in Oblivion, but now obviously it's been properly detailed out, and we're going to go all the way to Southwold, which is on the other side of the river.
The trailer, the Skingrad trailer, was also not captured with an ENB enabled. Everything vanilla, as you can see it in game now. And to prevent any further Imperial City questions, the Imperial City is still in development, and we won't show it until it's ready to be showed. Probably it's the last city we're going to show.
Almost 100%. It will be the last
Yeah.
thing we show. Yeah. I mean, it
And
has to
most
be
of the
great.
progress on it is in an ESP, which isn't enabled.
Yeah, there's currently internally a bit going on in the Imperial City, so we hope to show some of it. Not soon, but in some time. We can't say any specific dates, as you know. But if you want to help out and try to get any release dates pushed further, please join. We have a lot of potential recruits we could fill in with work, so if anyone is interested, please.
Yeah, and it's worth remembering that we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, which, you know, we do lots of stuff that we don't show off until it's like ready to show off in many ways. So this Skingrad stream, you know, the writing for this area was done, I don't know, probably years ago at this point. The implementation was done earlier this year and last year. The landscaping has been going on for a while as well. So we have got other places. We are, you know, making really good progress. But it's really important to note that we won't show them off until we think that they're worth showing off and they're almost finished, or at least, you know, looking pretty good. So we're showing off Skingrad now because we think it's come really a long way. That doesn't mean that Skingrad is the only thing that we've worked on, or the Imperial Cities haven't had any work on it or anything like that. It just means we're not going to show those other things until we're ready.
Yeah, especially level design writings, all going on in parallel. So what we show is not the only thing we've been working on in the past years.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've discussed our workflow a bit in the past as well. So generally landscaping can work everywhere, assuming the assets are made. And then obviously tile sets for the cities, that's a huge piece of work. So 3D department will be working on, I mean, we did Bruma first, but then we moved on to Kvatch, Gravel, and then Skingrad. So usually what happens is 3D and writing are working on the city, and we'll be working on something else. So say writing and working on Skingrad, the interiors and implementers might be working on getting Bravo finished, and then by the time they've sort of finished the writing and sort of exterior level design, interiors are then ready to come in and clutch it, because you need to know who lives where and everything to actually be able to do that. And then implementation is the final step. So once writing, level design are finished, we then pass it over to implementation. But by that point, we're on working on different cities, so it's all quite spread out who's working on what, which is why we're able to sort of develop as quickly as we can do, because we do have a sort of do a few things in parallel.
So we're in Southwold now, which is this border town. As you can probably see, this is the border itself. Literally those gates there, once you walk through them, you're in Elsewhere. And we share the same world space as Elsewhere, so although this is the Cyrodiil project, Elsewhere exists in the same world space, so it's literally just over those hills. Obviously we're not going to show that, because that's not why we're here, but this is the very edge of Cyrodiil, so this is as far as you would be able to go in the Cyrodiil release. But yeah, so this is a kind of a trading town that's right on the border. Did Southwold exist in Oblivion? I can't remember. I think it did, but it was much smaller.
I don't think it did, no.
Oh, okay, it didn't. Then it's an entirely new place that is our creation, basically. It's got a lovely view. There's an inn here, for obvious reasons, because it's on the road. It's the main road between Skingrad and Elsewhere. So, And there is also a vendor here and a few other things. And the
Oh,
quest,
and
quest that we're doing deals with the border and the custom and excise officer who is in here.
Oh, and had a sneaky look through the gate that kind of marks the border earlier, and it's nice the way the landscape, you cross the river and the sort of the rocks and the landscape changes, and you're off and away to elsewhere. So it's going to be amazing when they're all out and we can just all wander around, sort of from the sort of the Sea of Ghosts right the way down and into elsewhere.
So we've just dropped off. We've dropped off a message, and then we've given a special gift to this corrupt official, which supposedly is probably some kind of bribery, probably. But we've been caught in the act by this legate who is looking for smugglers. How are we going to respond? Does the branch work where you side with the Heartlands Trading Company? Does the whole quest work on both branches?
Yeah, it should work.
I think that one's the most interesting one. So there's two different ways this quest can go. You can side with the Imperial Officer, or you can side with the Heartlands Trading Company. Personally, I think the Heartlands Trading Company side is quite fun, but we'll leave it up to John which side he wants to go for. But yeah, you do get a pretty big choice in this quest, which diverges the quest quite majorly. So
Yeah, we're going with the way with the Heartlands company. The Legion currently. So going to say that we didn't realize that we were breaking the law, because the other one wouldn't show the dungeon which we would like to do.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
And this way the viewers can at some point play the quest themselves and play the other branch.
Yeah, and we'll show one side, but just know that there is another one. So now we're going to do some friendly neighborhood stalking to catch the courier that's going to pick up the message. So we might not have started with ebony weapons this time, but we will hopefully be able to get some by doing this quest. Just about to see the castle on the hill there, that looks amazing. Love it. This is an updated Radiant quest. We want to keep everything in line with Skyrim, of course. You know, all the systems that existed in Skyrim. We want them to feel like they want them to exist here. We want it to feel like it's a seamless experience. So it's just tiny little things like this Radiant quest where you just pick up crops and sell them to the person at the farm, which is something that you could always do in Skyrim. You can do that in Cyrodiil too. You can do it with the tobacco here on this farm. So
Yeah, we've expanded a lot on that system, and we might add some other systems like that as well.
well, that maybe wasn't the best place to hide. She came straight this way.
I think we need to do this bit again. So what I found when I was testing earlier is you can just leave her to it and follow on. Give her a minute.
She's seen you. Your stealth isn't.
Cast an invisibility spell.
That's the problem with doing it on a level 1 character is your sneak skill isn't up to par. But thankfully you've got a helpful quest marker to tell you where she's gone if you lose her.
Ditch your armor, maybe, if you're wearing heavy armor.
I think she's gone back to her path now. Yeah. That's just cheesy.
It's set AV or active value.
And when Mr. JGT is doing this, we always need to put him on God mode on because, yeah, I've seen him fight.
The current music is not unique to Skingrad. The music that we have at the moment is just all your Bruma music. I don't think we have any new music in. But there will be unique tracks for all of the cities eventually, I believe, right?
That's currently not really decided, so we'll see. But a lot of the Bruma tracks are generally already the tracks that are supposed to play in the other regions.
Yeah, we have the generic exploration music and stuff already.
Someone's asking, will there be an option to start the game from the other regions instead of the base Skyrim start? So I think, well, I can't comment for the other provinces, but I think our plan is no, but we're assuming that people will release alternate start patches. I mean, I'll definitely be downloading some of them, but we're trying to make it a Skyrim expansion, so technically you'd start there, but yeah, there'll be loads of alternate start mods, I would have imagined.
I believe there were some people on the team that wanted to do one. If we did do it, it'd probably be a separate patch that we could download, like an optional plugin. So we've trailed this courier all the way back to the Ayleid ruin of Cylorn, which is where she must be hiding out. So because we're going with the Legion route, we're going to go tell the legate where she's hiding.
Someone's joined and asked if we're streaming again. Yes, we are. We found someone who's not in the UK, whose computer isn't currently melting. And there's not really any lag, so that's all good.
The legate's giving a speech to his men now. We're going to go raid the Ayleid route.
If anyone is wondering about why there is Ayleid dungeon music playing right now, that's because that's the placeholder discovery sound for Ayleid ruins, so it'll change.
Okay, we'll be inside an Ayleid ruin in a minute, and then it'll make sense.
Quite nice to come and do a quest on Ayleid Ruin, because the ones at Bruma were really good, but we have so many extra bits for the runes now, so it was a functional kit for Bruma and it did the job, but we've just got a bit more clutter and everything, and they look much better now, I think. So hopefully you'll be able to see the difference between what we've released and sort of what's going to be in the final mod. It's not really a huge difference, but it's just those final details that kind of really just add to how it looks. So it's like just some random dude came up and told him. He's like, oh, okay, this sounds legit, let's go and raid the place.
It's very cool doing this quest at night time. It feels very appropriate.
Mm.
Ooh, an Imperial crossbow.
There's a crossbow. Will there be any mention of the civil war going on? As far as I understand, yes, a little bit, but not a huge amount.
Yeah, we're not going to ignore the fact that it's happening, obviously, but it's also not going to dominate. It's not going to be what people are talking about, because, you know, these people live in Cyrodiil, they have their own problems. I love the crossbow, it looks amazing. And here's a new alien ruin. love about our Ayleid ruins compared to Oblivion's is that we put a lot more effort into the clutter to make it feel like it was a real like place once that people lived in. Just the little things like the old carpets and the bits of like clutter is really makes a big difference. I think. It's, you know, Ayleid bowls and clutter and tables and things which didn't exist before. It's really cool.
I think in general, our Ayleid ruins are the best dungeons we have. They got the most attention to detail and the most features with traps and puzzles.
Yes, there are some really cool traps and puzzles as well that Elscripts, among other people, has been working on, which are really cool. I don't know how much I can talk about this, but yeah. The crossbow is part of Beyond Skyrim, right?
Believe so.
Yeah, someone was asking if it was Creation Club or Beyond Skyrim.
Yeah, it's Beyond Skyrim. It's the Imperial crossbow.
Yeah, that is ours.
Will Cyrodiil stuff bleed into Skyrim's world space? We're very careful with editing any Skyrim content, so this is not going to be part of any Beyond Skyrim release, but we may add some feature for Skyrim, or we let our modders do it, but we would love to play it ourselves, so eventually someone will do it, I'm sure.
I mean, the main thing is, yeah, I think you're gonna have to put Goblin on. The main thing is sort of the actual section where you get into Cyrodiil, and then apart from that, we're not really touching the Skyrim world at all.
Does the seamless border crossing between provinces work anywhere you cross, or only at specific points like the main roads? That's only going to be the main roads because there needs to be a special setup for these transitions. There's
Except
quite a bit of...
for the case of Cyrodiil and elsewhere, because they share
Yeah.
the same world space.
They're sharing a world space, but like when you go from Cyrodiil to Agonia or Morrowind, you will need to go through this custom setup we made, and it's quite has quite heavy background logic, so you will not be able to cross just anywhere.
I believe Cylorn was in Oblivion, wasn't it? Someone was asking if it was from Oblivion.
I think so, yeah. Most of our dungeons are.
Yes, it was. We have a few Ayleid ruins that weren't in Oblivion, but most of them were in Oblivion.
I believe this one was involved. Yeah, this one was involved in the Mages Guild quest before.
You might want to enable God mode.
Or at least save it.
I love Skyrim AI. I love the Radiant AI sometimes. This Legate just murders a man and then screams about corpse.
Oh, you're dead.
Oops.
F in the chat.
that guy just murdered you. Oh my god. You should definitely put God mode on.
You better cast that Iron Flesh scroll.
It gets worse. I was playing through this earlier. to make sure the pathing was okay, and it gets so much worse.
I think that portcullis is supposed to open automatically. There's supposed to be like a trigger box there for it.
Oh,
So you just TCL through it.
It should open with the trigger upstairs. The one
Oh,
you,
okay.
you press to open the other gate. It actually opens 2 gates.
level 10 by the time you get out of here. Where's the Lego?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna die again. You should save.
The encounter might be balanced around you having your allies with you as well, I don't know.
I think one of them died. And the others are lost. COVID-y again.
You won't set God mode on, you're just cheating on the list. Daedric, right there. That'll do it.
Tough smuggler.
Daedric is looking very cool in action. I don't know if we've actually seen it fight before on the stream.
Don't think so.
Just breathing fire and stuff.
That be sticky hand, that's what that could be.
That guy's following you.
You should run him into the leg at some point.
Quick, chug some stamina potions. Alright, you're dead.
You should really just put God mode on at this point. Like, it's fine. We want to get through the content.
Or toggle immortal mode. Why haven't the other soldiers followed you in here?
Most of them are dead actually. Although the laggage should be immortal.
You need to be nearby him. Well, you can put God mode down anyway. Something was wrong there. She's just
E-posing.
A-posing at you. Oh my god. She doesn't care.
That's an issue that occurred because of our custom animation setup, but we fixed it already. It's just not merged. Or
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, which animation is that?
the one it's like all the DLC animations weren't loaded because we initially used an outdated animation file
Ah,
for
okay.
new animations, but now everything should be.
Just showing off a bunch of summoning spells at the same time. We saw the Daedric, that's the flesh atronach.
I would say he's here now.
I think he might have got stuck.
Yeah. I'm really scared of the flesh atronach to be.
He's got his head in the ceiling. Is he having trouble getting through that narrow space? Oh no, he's coming around. Here we go.
Don't go in there. That's poison.
Thankfully we turned God mode on, so we're all good.
Hopefully the legate doesn't follow you. That spell is actually one of our a spell of our magic system where we implemented a bunch of elemental spells and expanded upon vanilla spell elements that weren't actually full classes like poison and sun.
Yes, there is a way to divide this one. There's two paths to this quest, two major paths, but we're only doing one of them. You can see the other one when you play the mod for yourselves.
Do river troll called mud crab. god. Cart.
Oh, the legate's turned up. I mean, he's not doing anything useful, but it's here.
That's a very cool spirit. That's really things around.
And now we got our ebony weapons.
And we've completed the quest. That is probably the
That's
more...
a.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. This is a placeholder mace. We're gonna get our own ebony maces and other
Yeah,
ebony
true.
weapons as well.
That's just the Skyrim one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one half of that quest. As I said, there's multiple ways through it. It's probably not even a half because the other paths probably take up more time, and there's many other ways to do this quest. But yeah, this was the more simple way, which involved a nice dungeon crawl so that we could show off the dungeon at the same time. There will be Daedric quests, yes. Not every province will do a quest for every Daedric prince, but Cyrodiil should have most of them, I think. And in true Elder Scrolls fashion, we're back at the start. Lovely dungeon design. And I can say that because I didn't make it, so...
You're
I do
currently
love a
going
good
deep into
courtesy
the dungeon.
accent.
Yeah, you're going back through the dungeon now, then you need to go back to the start. Yes, there'll be lots
Yeah,
of
it's
new
just up
random
there.
world encounters. Obviously, we need Cyrodiil specific ones because a lot of the old ones were tied to Skyrim, things to do with the Civil War and stuff. There will be a lot of world encounters. We have not really started on those yet. There's a few you can see in Bruma, but there aren't many more at the moment, but there will be plenty.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to add more later on, but for now we're focusing on the huge chunks of writing, especially the cities, quest lines.
So I think the other quest was going to be the one in town. Do you think we have time to do that? Or should we...
I'm going to duck out because I'm beginning to feel pretty ropey again. But I'm really glad we managed to get this back. So, have fun, and I will see you all next stream.
Alright, see you.
Thanks for coming.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the other quests, it hopefully should work. We'll need to see and start at night.
We should take a look at while it's daytime. Oh, it's the baker. I love the baker. He's great. While it's daytime, we should take a look at the racetracks and the vineyards again because we didn't really get a proper look at them last time because they were very laggy. The market looks great as well. So we will have something that I think we really liked about Oblivion was that it felt like people had proper schedules. Skyrim obviously still had that functionality, but it wasn't leveraged as much. So that we're trying to do a few more things with like schedules and stuff. So like earlier you saw that the in the previous stream that we did, you would have seen that the lectures happen at the academy at 12 o'clock every weekday and so on, and you can talk to people and you can read flyers and stuff and learn that information yourself and then go find those lectures. It's the same thing with the market. The market has specific times where everybody's there and people will tell you what time the market's open. I think specifically there is a farmer's market on Lordas. It's just a little thing like that. We were like once a week we want to have like a bigger market than usual, so that like people have a reason to kind of like pay attention to the in-game calendar and time and stuff, because that doesn't really happen very much in Skyrim, as much as it did in Oblivion. No one racing around the stables, unfortunately, this time. I think the idea eventually is that we want people to be able to bet on the horse races, but that's a work in progress at the moment. We're not sure.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Horse AI in Skyrim is pretty finicky, so
It's pretty bad.
it may work or may not work.
Yeah, no guarantees. And here are the lovely vineyards. This is the Heartland's vineyard. So we mentioned earlier, there are two kind of, in Skingrad, there are two main rivalries. There is a rivalry between the two main vineyards, and they are the Cyrodiil brothers and the Heartlands Trading Company. That rivalry is, a lot of people care a lot about wine in the city. It's like a very important thing for some people. So, depending on what wine you drink, you might end up getting attacked on the streets if you're not careful. It's very, very, people take it very seriously. But more broadly, it kind of it encompasses a kind of a divide that we had an idea for in the city, where half the city is split between Empire loyalists and Dominion sympathizers, because it's kind of on the border and there's a lot of free trade between the two countries, and the government is quite sympathetic. The current countess is quite sympathetic to the Dominion. So there's a lot of tension there, and we wanted to really like show that. So it comes down to even like the silly little things, like which wine do you drink? It makes a difference to a lot of people here.
Yeah, I think there's one NPC that actually starts the conversation with you and just asks which wine do you drink, and reacts accordingly if you drink to her right wine or not.
Yeah, it's just like Battleborn, or what's the other one in Whiterun? The guy that comes up to you and says Battleborn, or the other one.
Whitemane?
Whitemane, that's it. Yeah, Whitemane or Battleborn. It's the same thing, really. Maybe this guy asks you Cyrodiil brothers or Heartless wine.
Greymane, of course.
Greymane, that's it. There you go. No, they're not all elves. Someone's asking, are there any Thalmor sympathizers in Cyrodiil? Are they just elves? No, not strictly elves. There are Thalmor sympathizers who are Khajiit and even Imperials. there are definitely more vigilants in Cyrodiil than there were in Skyrim. The main hall of the Vigilant is located in Cyrodiil in outside Coral because it's the city of Stendarr. So there is a Lord Keeper in that hall. There are a number of vigilants there with their own kind of names, and there's a bunch of quests tied to that and stuff. It's a lot more detailed than the Hall of the Vigilant that we got in Skyrim. There are also obviously vigilants here in Skingrad, and there are also some in Cheydinhall, I believe. They're tied to a number of quests in the province, and you will be able to join them as well. So definitely they are a lot more detailed, and there's a lot more of them than there were in Skyrim, because in Skyrim there was one group and they died at the beginning of Dawnguard, so you didn't really get to interact with them much. I love that you can just ask this woman what the Oblivion Crisis is, and she's like, "What is wrong with you?" But, you know, some people might not have played Oblivion before, so you never know. But we already know your name. We can see your name in the UI. I think someone asked, is that a new Stendarr shrine? Yes, that's... I don't know how new it is in terms of our project, but it's not, you know, it is. It's unique to Skyrim. It's unique to Beyond Skyrim. It's one of our new pieces. We've got busts for all of the divines. So I think if we wanted to start I think we should probably get on with that final quest, right? If we want to start it, we have to go to Skingrad and wait till nighttime, right?
Oh, and this is one of our new runestones, which were in Oblivion.
Say any hope to see an Anvil stream? There might be an Anvil stream when Anvil
Eventually.
is ready. Yeah, when Anvil is ready, but at the moment it's Skingrad.
Soon.
Oh, that's
the next
lovely.
one
I've
is-
got a little shot of the. Yeah, sorry, you explain.
The next one is probably going to be about Coral, as that's the one we're currently editing and then passing on to implementation. So you can
Yeah.
watch out for that.
Then after that, it will be probably Anvil. Or Cheydinhall, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. We don't want to make any promises. I love that we got to see the guard riding the horse then, and then dismounting, which is cool. We've got mounted patrols working, which is
The
really nice.
horse is just walking back to the stables.
Yeah, he knows the way.
He knows
home.
where to go.
I think maybe it's because you waited. Otherwise, she might have ridden him back to the stables, but I don't know. So, the back alleys of Skingrad are very scary at night. The quest, if you wanted to start it, is behind the tavern, I believe, just over the opposite side of this statue. Glarthair is not around. For anyone who's asking about Glarthair, Glarthair is not around. I mean, he could have died in Oblivion, so it doesn't really make much sense to have him here. This is Sir Lucan Daedric, one of the famous knights, although he's fallen a bit from grace recently, as you can probably tell.
If it's currently not working, you might want to use a console command quickly. So
Push. Quick command for what?
and now you can go back to Lucan. He should.
Oh, he's fallen.
There he's fallen down.
Fallen on the floor. I love a good quest that starts in an alleyway with a drunk person.
I think that's the funniest quest in all of Cyrodiil currently. Oh no, actually the funniest quest is the quest with the jester who's rhyming all the time.
Well, we'll see how people like that one. That one's not in yet though, so.
Yeah, I'm currently working on it.
Oh, nice. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed writing that one. I love the drunk walk. This is. Thankfully, we don't have to follow him very far because he's not very fast.
Yeah, that's the huge issue with that animation. It's so slow.
It's part of the immersion.
That animation was from Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
No, I
that's
mean just
kind of
making you. I mean just making you
yeah.
wait a long time.
No, that's funny though. I've never seen. I don't remember ever seeing this in Skyrim, but it is from Skyrim.
Actually, if we wanted to show a custom animation, we could do that in the morning.
Cool.
drunk animation isn't regularly used in Skyrim. It has some issues sometimes where the head like drops into the body, but there are mods that fixes them, so we decided to use them in some cases.
He's just drunkenly invited you to his next party. How lovely, then. As you can see, the Knights of Skingrad aren't what they once were. But this is one of their homes. This is the Harvest Moon Hall for the Knights of the Harvest Moon, who are, like I said, they're not the knightly, chivalrous knights that they once were.
Can you wait until 8 or 9 p.m.? AM, sorry. Can you stop here? Oh well. In the front of the Urbir Academy, there should be some people using custom animations.
Oh, yes! That's really great. Yeah, let's go check that out while we're here. Do you know where the academy is? Oh, look, there we go, another drunk. There's lots of drunk people in Skingrad. Well.
Yeah, she should be. What time is it?
I think he set the game hour to 8. Does it start at 8 or 9?
Ah, okay. Well, maybe you don't have the latest update. It was just included recently.
Well, in case it wasn't obvious for everyone watching, eventually, when you've got the full thing, she'll be painting. She'll be actually standing in front of that thing and painting, which is very cool. It's a new animation. Oh, yeah, let's check out the chapel quickly as well. That's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe one of the sermons will play.
Yes, the sermons. That's just like the lectures. It's one of those things that we really wanted to do to make the place feel more alive. The priests will actually hold sermons for people, and people will come in and attend them. And it looks like one's about to start now. Yeah, there we go. Also, the Chapel of Julianos is a bit unique because obviously it's the Chapel of Magic. So I love the floating magical lights and the burning flame as well. It's really good. So I think every time you enter the chapel, there's a chance that a sermon will start, right?
Yeah.
And we had one of our writers write up a bunch of these, and they're very good, very well written. Although John's more interested in the wine, which is, fair enough.
It's Skingrad after all.
Exactly.
I think to continue the quest, you will have to wait a bit more until Lucan is actually a bit sober.
Yeah, I think you have to wait until like 24 hours, I think.
That was it originally, but we cut it down to like 10 hours, I think.
Okay, cool. Nice model there. Question about dragons. We won't have random dragon spawns in anywhere outside of Skyrim, I don't believe. But there might be a few dragons in select locations, specific locations that might appear.
Yes,
We
exactly.
won't have the random spawns all over the place.
But I'm sure if you wanted dragons in Skyrim, there will be a mod for it eventually. And Cyrodiil, of course. Can we take followers here without issues? Yes.
I think we can meet him now. Can you go inside? Yeah. I think it's been long enough. Oh my god, that's a great option. I love how this guy just asks you to be his nanny, like walk him home, make him some soup. This is a really fun little objective though. I really enjoy this quest because, you know, you have to go make him some soup. That's like a very kind of banal objective that we don't see a lot in Skyrim. And you know, we have to actually go read the recipe to figure out how to do it and then find the ingredients. So that's fun. So this quest was originally written by one of our writers, Archfreeze, and then was heavily edited and developed by Diegler. Just, you know, max credit to both of those guys because yeah, I didn't have any hand in this one, but this one is one of my favorites.
Oh no, you stole something.
You weren't supposed to take that bit. Oh my god. You can take everything else, but you gotta be careful. You can't take everything. Oh, that's a shame. Very quick response time, though. Well, it's just an excuse to get this lovely view of the castle and the city from above. That is an incredible view with the sunset. I think it's planned.
Yeah, the Skingrad weathers in general are very, very nice. So colorful, and these almost red weathers are really beautiful. Will all Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil voice acting be voice acted, or will we use XVA Synth 2? We will voice act everything on our own. Currently we're using these synthesized voice lines just for placeholder Yes, you will be able to buy a home in Skingrad, although it's tied to a quest. You will have to complete a quest first.
Yeah, you can't actually buy the house. You have to complete.
Right.
You don't pay any money for it. You have to complete the quest, and you have to make a certain decision in order to get the house. But yeah, it's not worth any money. Well, it's worth lots of money, but it's not money that you have to pay to get it.
Some cities will have play homes that you can buy off buy from the start of the game,
Yeah,
but some are locked behind quests.
exactly.
Oh, I think we
wow.
crashed.
A crash. Well, it was going really well. I mean, had to happen eventually. Let's just say, how long did it go there without crashing? Like at least 2 hours or whatever. So
We've been streaming for more than an hour, so
more
way
than that,
better
not 2
results
hours.
than
But yeah, much longer than it was, much longer than before.
1.5 actually. So yeah, not that bad.
He's in the way of the cooking pot. He's like, yeah, please make me some soup while he's using the cooking pot. There's some of our own cooking ingredients that we've added as well. Besides that one, obviously, there's plenty more because we've added loads of ingredients. We've had to add loads more cooking recipes as well. There's some really fun stuff in there. I love this comment. This guy is a disaster. Is he marryable? We don't. None of the NPCs in Cyrodiil are marryable at the moment because there's no framework set up for it. But we will do that at some point, and then we'll be going through all the NPCs and making sure that you can marry a bunch of them. We haven't set that up yet though, so maybe. So we're helping this guy get his life back together. He's decided that he doesn't want to be a horrible drunk anymore, and he wants his vows to mean something again. So We're going to help him get his life back together, starting by finding his armor, which he sold to buy more alcohol, I believe. Selmo the baker is no longer around now. Getting a really long loading screen because we're loading into the world for the first time, I assume.
Hopefully not an infinite loading screen. Maybe if it doesn't finish soon, we just restart the game.
Yeah, I think we saved right before we left the house, I think.
I think we can skip through that dialogue now.
Thanks for bearing with us, by the way. I know today has been really rocky, but we're getting through it, and I'm enjoying the comments. We're stuck in the purgatory of cooking for this man. I know, we're never going to escape now. Let's make a quick save here, just in case. Or a real save, whatever.
Maybe COC to Skingrad's exterior.
Still doesn't want to load somehow. Yeah, it's not crashing. We're restarting the game because the loading screen doesn't seem to end.
Let's let's do what Bruce Gorilla said and try COCing somewhere.
Yep.
There we go. So I think we have to wait until the daytime to speak to Dahlia Vexel. I think this is
Yes, somewhere between I think 8 a.m. and 6 or 8 p.m. So sometime during the day.
I like that the marker points you to her stall and not to her, so you don't go looking for her somewhere else.
Yeah, you need to wait a bit more, I think. There we have a newspaper vendor with placeholder lines.
Yeah, it's still placeholder. We also haven't written any of the actual newspaper articles until we're going to do that mostly at the end. So still all the same ones from Bruma, but there'll be a lot more because again, that's something in Oblivion that was like really helped to make the place feel alive, and we want to make sure we can. There she is. It turns out Dahlia Vexel sold the armor already. Of course, who could have predicted? I'm gonna have to go get the armor now.
Are we doing magic tricks?
We're just cheating on the illusion check, but that's fine.
Jedi powers and works.
Done, bravo.
Hello. We've just been joined by Diegler, who also worked a lot on the quest we're currently playing. So hi.
Yeah, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm Diegler. I'm one of the senior editors on Cyrodiil and kind of a writer for the Anvil region, as well as helping out with some Skingrad questing. This is a kind of a fun quest for me. To give a bit of an insider take, this quest was actually at one point 2 quests. It was kind of 2 separate experiences, and this first part of this experience. So we'll leave the second part to our players when they get their hands on it. But yeah, fun quest about I guess a knight struggling with kind of a redemption arc and things that are relatable, family problems, substance abuse, just generally feel like we kind of got to help this guy out. You know, he's kind of an idiot sometimes. You just got to make sure that he can do what he needs to do, kind of retake his honor, reclaim his honor as a knight. So that dry Dravis, the Dunmary Bravo, has bought his armor after convincing him to sell it, to pawn it off. Him and Dry Dravis were at the horse race track, and Sir Lucan, or Dry Dravis, made an offhanded remark about how he should pawn off the armor to bet on this race, and so Sir Lucan did, and now, after pawning off the armor, Dry Dravis has very slyly swooped in and bought it for himself, and now he's run off to kind of test it out, to take it on a test drive, as it were. So that's where we're headed now, to his last known location.
So someone in chat has said you basically adopt an adult man, which sounds about right.
Adopted an old man, yeah. He just needs some help.
Is there any new weapons and armor in the mod? Yes, there's loads. It's an entirely new world space with new quests. Yeah, new quests, new items, new armors, new everything, pretty much. I can't think of anything. We've basically added everything at this point. It's like a full expansion to Skyrim. Imagine it like that.
Is Lucan currently following you because he should you quite a bit through the wilderness, and that's not nav meshed yet, so we might need to spawn him in.
He's decided he doesn't need the armor all that much.
So it's not nav meshed, is it? So how do we get him to come to us?
You would need to do a bit of console command magic. I'll send the commands in chat.
What a kill cam. Interesting kill cam there.
I love Bethesda.
So I think we need to go back to the cave and then use the console command, right?
Just anywhere really. So those two.
Yeah, so Lucan himself, he's part of a lot of, he's kind of representative of a lot of different problems in the knightly orders in Skingrad, specifically Harvest Moon. There are many knights who kind of have fallen from grace, and Lucan is no exception. He is doing his best, like any of us are. Well, Sayria is the quests of Skingrad compared to Anvil, from my experiences at least. It's made me go back and think about how we can make them more representative and thematic. When I first read the first draft of this quest, I felt like it was super, like there was so much uniqueness to it that like it just had to be done. So I'm very happy with the fact that I rewrote it, but I would not go back and do it again.
Yeah, Skingrad's been through a lot of iteration, especially at the main quest as well. We had a lot of discussions about that as well. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's really cool to see it all like working together now, and I think people are really gonna love it. It's very hard for me to it's very hard for me to not talk about all the other quests.
Right. Yeah.
But we're saving the best till the release, basically.
Save the best for last, of course.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, so now Lucan will actually follow us. When we take the road, I can tell you when you should go there. Just follow the road for now. The main road. Because Lucan can't follow you when you're not on the main road currently.
I imagine he's gone back. Maybe.
Well, otherwise, we can teleport him now, so that's okay too.
Let's just do that then.
Yeah, you will need a PC for any of the full province mods. Bruma was a small pre-release, that's what we're calling them, so we were able to put it onto Xbox. Cyrodiil will not be on Xbox. There is no possible way that we can do that. And most of the full provinces, this is, I can't speak for the provinces, but I'm like 99% sure they won't be on Xbox either.
Yeah, it's not
The only things that will be small snippets like Bruma, and even those aren't guaranteed either, I think. Just because of the limit to file sizes, because it's just too big. We made too much stuff, I'm sorry.
Roscray will be on Xbox. No, we can't confirm that.
If anyone is wondering what this cave is, and anyone noticed it wasn't in Oblivion, it's Goblin Jim's cave. It's just renamed Madman's Respite because Goblin Jim is dead now.
Rip Goblin Jim.
And notably, the goblins remain. They have set up a new.
They just they just returned. I mean, the goblins just returned.
Just killed them.
Yeah, crossfire animation still not work. It's fixed though.
Yeah, these goblins are actually part of a larger tribe. Soon there's some strange things happening in this game that have to do with alliances. Cracked Skull Tribe, that's right, that's what they were.
Yeah, the Cracked Skull Tribe occupy a lot of the region around here.
Mm-hmm. And these ones in particular have made some unlikely alliances.
He's got Skyrim armor.
Wait a minute.
Does look good with that helmet.
That's obviously not final.
It's the Dovahkiin.
Yeah, he's a goblin.
Over Goblin.
No reason why he can't be.
I'll be interested to see if he can get through this unscathed. Who's gonna stop all the...
Just be aware since you restarted the game, you don't have God mode. So if it starts getting hard, we don't have a repeat of Cyrodiil.
Saving is also, well, it may not be honorable, it is effective.
Down, you actually see Dry Travers. Oh.
Is there a goblin? Yeah, so these goblins, or rather, I guess these orcs, have somehow forged an alliance with these goblins and are they're putting to torch the Highland region, or terrorizing the locals. A very unlikely team up. It would appear that Dry Dravis has
You trying to make a dry
he has
Dravis has drunk his last.
Which I'm pretty sure he's a sober guy. He's the opposite of Lucan.
Dry Dravis has dried up.
Skipped his final drink.
You should probably turn God mode on. Yeah. Just.
That's a cool spell. I haven't seen that before.
It's quite new.
Yeah. Tornado. This armor is very important because it was a family heirloom given to him by his father, Sir Daedric. And the acquisition of this armor would hopefully parallel Lucan's. Oh, there it goes. The final blow.
Oh, it suddenly turned into iron armor.
Yeah, that's because it's a placeholder. The mithril one is a placeholder, and steel is the other placeholder one we set to it now. But in the future, both of these armors will be the same, and it will be another armor set that has yet to be implemented. Yeah, so this ends the first quest of Sir Lucan Daedric, but there will be another one. You will be able to play it in the full Cyrodiil release, but for now, that's it, and I think we're also going to end the stream here.
Yeah, I teased you with a little bit of Lucan, but you have to wait for the rest. I love that everyone likes him though. That's great news. Everyone wants to marry him, by the way, Deep. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, I did not hear that. It was awesome. I'm glad he's marriage material for most of you.
Maybe let's walk one more time to Skingrad, see it from the outside, and then we can stop the stream from there.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's any more like sites we want to see, or any more like things we want to look at right before the end. But I think we've covered most of it. We also had a good look at the countryside, the West Weald, which was obviously one of my favourite parts of Cyrodiil, with the red maple trees and everything. It's really, really beautiful.
Skingrad is the other way around.
We're not going to Skingrad.
I believe there was one location we had planned for the stream, which was like the village of Lasteris in the east of the county.
Well, if you want more, we give you more.
There's not much to do there at the moment though, because there's no quest.
Yeah, not really.
Resolving it on the outskirts should be fun.
It's nice to show
Towns.
like evidence of the Great War and stuff, like all the ruins, things.
poor wolf. It pushes it over. Wow.
It's also Relamon, which is really beautiful. I don't know if that's...
Oh yes, Relmon. That place is. Yeah, we could show that
It
probably
is
too. I don't
also
know.
That's
it also
Sorry?
has NPCs set up, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea actually. I think we should see Relamon because that would be a really nice closing shot for the screen as well.
Yeah. What's this house? What? That mud crab.
Mud crab isn't very heavy.
There will be many ruins like this around Cyrodiil from like the Great War and stuff. But this is one of them. Those
Yeah, we have a quest. I did
elves
one
that did it.
Yeah. So the city, basically, one of the stories that we've been talking about is that the city of Skingrad survived the Great War mostly unscathed, but the surrounding areas were like quite heavily hit. Lots of farms were destroyed and so on. So there'll be a lot of ruins. There's a couple of quests or two that involve that as well. So that's should be fun. Do we know where is Relamon? Does John know?
Relmon's along the Strid.
Yeah,
Near,
where
I think
exactly?
it's west of Ceylon. Might need
There.
to try COC Relmon maybe. Okay.
I think we can go down there. We can walk there.
What was that?
I don't know what that was
horse
about. Are they releasing Cyrodiil as a whole with everything in it rather than single cities? Yes. That's exactly how it's going to work. No more releases from Cyrodiil until the final release. No piecemeal stuff, unfortunately. That's what it's a lot of work to get each thing ready, and releasing them separately. Like separating the files is a lot more work than it seems. So, like Bruma was really good for getting our name recognition and for showcasing like what we can do. But it doesn't make sense for us to do that for every city. Otherwise, we'll just delay the final release by like a bunch more years, which I'm sure nobody wants. So it will all come out all at once.
Yes. And next to it being a lot more work, it would also limit our capabilities, because if we were to release one county at a time, cross-county connections would be a lot harder, or when we decide to go a different path to maybe connect parts of locations better, or in quest lines, etc., that all wouldn't really work. In Bruma, currently you can't start joining the guilds and so on, and that's also something that would be a bit weird when we released every county by its own. We couldn't really add the quest lines because we want to have them play in all of Cyrodiil and not only the counties we currently released. So that's another reason why we're going this path and not the other way around. It should be to the west, I think.
You want probably want a quick save or turn Goblin on again, just in case. Nice jump.
With the 7.
This is the Strid, obviously the main river that separates elsewhere from Cyrodiil. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier, but it was kind of not really accessible in Oblivion. You just kind of couldn't go down the hill of the canyon. You were just kind of stuck looking at it from a distance, and it was like these really distant trees, and you could just kind of look at Baleen Wood from a distance. But we've kind of, we've added a lot more here, and we can fully explore this canyon. And there's some locations here as well, such as the one that we're going to end on, Relamon, which is implied to be a very old town. That was destroyed in the war, I believe, and now there's just a couple of people living here in like the ruins, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, I think it's only 2
This-
NPCs actually.
This bit here is just a Great War memorial. There's some old worn Imperial equipment here too, which has a unique rusted texture. Yes, we are going to address the Great War. We have like ruins and things around, and references to it, and yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
one of the
you
most
cannot
important
reference
events in recent history, so...
Yeah.
Oh no, they've got the dark face bug. Okay, well,
Oh no.
that's funny. So basically there's just a pair of elves living here, kind of like, what do you call them, like, almost like campers, squatters, just chilling.
And also, this place is a ruin from the Great War as well, so yeah.
It's a really nicely done place, I really like this.
Yeah.
These elves are sort of trying to rebuild the town almost on their own, which is quite a nice little story. They're kind of, it's hinted at that they're from like a, quite an old sect of Valenwood elves, quite traditional elves. But they've come here after the war to try and make something of it, which is very nice. They've got like their own little settlement inside a ruin. But yeah, that's basically it. I think we can probably leave it there. Or we could have a little look at the river from the town, maybe. Messiah's Tales. I think we're just going to look for like a nice little ending shot, I imagine, and then we'll be signing off. But Yeah. Thank you everyone for sticking by us, especially with the technical problems that we had earlier. I really hope that everyone's enjoyed watching this and seeing Skingrad like in detail for the first time, because it's an area of Cyrodiil that's been really close to my heart. So I'm really happy that everyone got to see it. And yeah, we're sorry about the difficulties earlier, but I'm really glad that we got it working so that we could show it off in the end properly, because it really deserves. It really deserves to be seen in all its glory.
Yeah, thank you everyone. We hope to show you more in the future. There's going to be another event in the next couple of months where we're going to show off some of our work, and maybe more later this year. But for now, that's it. As always, if you want to join Beyond Skyrim or Cyrodiil specifically, you can find the links on our website. If you want to learn more about modding, you can do that on the Arcane University, which you can also learn more about on the website. And yeah, thanks for sticking with us. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks. Bye bye.